Yeah, social worker Anna did. Social worker Anna did do that. Hello, and welcome to another week in my life, a little work week in my life. This is where I get therapy, behind me. That's why I drove to and from work today. Hi, I'm Anna. I am a medical social worker working at a children's hospital. This is a good old-fashioned, just like Monday to Friday, regular, relatable, authentic week in my life. Starting with Monday morning, this morning, my mom left. She was here visiting all weekend and it was so fun. We honestly had very packed days, I feel like, both Saturday and Sunday, and it was very incredible. Like, really loved it. Highly recommend. As she left this morning, headed back to the airport, and I headed into work. I had a whole lot of turnover on my caseload over the weekend, so today wasn't busy. I just had like quite a few different tasks to take care of meeting new people, working with child protection caseworkers, working with families who require interpreters to make sure that they're getting interpreting services that they need. It's like various tasks like that. And then yeah, now I'm here at therapy. I feel like I did a whole big weekend vlog whenever I was starting therapy, and then I've like mentioned it here and there following. Basically, I started therapy because in, let's say, like late August through September, I had a little episode of depressy feels. I had a low mood for a while in a way that was different than I'd felt before. I feel like before, whenever I felt mood changes, it has had like a clear stressor or like a clear thing that can point back to it. And this time, like, that didn't necessarily happen. It was just like a very bad low mood where I was like really struggling, and it didn't like have a reason that I can necessarily point back to. So I was like, maybe now's the time to go try therapy. And so I found out that my employee assistance program through my work had offered 6 free sessions of therapy through like a list of counselors and therapists that work with them. And so that's how I found the person that I've been seeing. This is my 5th session that I'm at now. I do think I'm just going to finish out the 6th and then be done for now, kind of like a short-term therapy type thing. I think it's great for some people. It's good for some people. It's great in some times of life for some people. I just feel like, honestly, for myself, after 5, I'm like really having to grasp for things to like talk about or bring up, to where now the like stress of getting myself here after work and getting home so late and having a late dinner and having to drive my car and everything is like starting to outweigh the pros of doing talk therapy. Honestly, it's been really good, I feel like, for validation of things that I felt, and it's also been good in like noticing some patterns in my mood and like what that could possibly mean, like what that could possibly like keep an eye out on. But I kind of came in with strong like coping skills and strong ability to like challenge my own thoughts and be self-compassionate and things, which are skills that like take learning, like take a lot of learning. But since I've already been like practicing those kinds of things, it's not necessarily like I'm learning them in therapy to where it's like helpful in that way. So I think for me, that's why like short term was good. Maybe I'll come back in the future if I feel like I need it again. I just like don't feel like the benefits are outweighing the cons of getting myself here at this current time in life. So that's my therapy spiel. I am early, and so I'm gonna sit and read big book I started over the weekend, Fourth Wing. I feel like everyone has been reading this. So now I'm part of the pack. Gonna sit here and read it and go do therapy.
Saw you paint a picture of a face that wasn't even close to mine.
Something about when it is cold is that I just like cannot move fast, no matter what I do. And so I'm kind of pushing it for needing to leave today. But I also feel like another factor in that is the fact that I was gone for so long yesterday. Like I left for work at like 7:15 and didn't get back home until around 7, I would say. I also just realized I left my AirPods upstairs, so sorry for the motion sickness here. Didn't get back until like 7:15, so didn't like get a nice chill, relax at the end of the day. A little bit I did, but like not as much as I usually love to relax. Got my AirPods. So then this morning I get out of bed and I made coffee. I started like having some chill read time on the couch, and then I just like could not. I did not want to stop for anything. It's like, I love this. How rude of me to have to go back to work today, especially because you can see it down there. I'm still reading Fourth Wing, and it is really good, which I expected considering everybody is reading it or has already read it. This is my outfit for today. My gray scrubs, a long sleeve shirt, Honestly, I just got the long sleeve shirt out of the drawer. I haven't worn it in a little bit. It kind of smells like feet. Don't know why, but try to fix that. Badge in my bag. I need to take yesterday's lunch dish out of my bag. Putting today's lunch dish in my bag. Gotta get my Patagonia for the walk. It's 48 degrees out, which is chilly, especially for walking. This is a Patagonia that I got in, it must have been 2015, whenever these were all the rage, and it just has continued in my life. Like, this Patagonia has been with me through some things. Today at work, I don't have anything unique, I don't think. It'll be kind of catching up on families that maybe I didn't get a chance to see yesterday. Sometimes things just like come up when I get there, so I just kind of don't know what the day will hold, so we'll figure that out. But I feel like there's some non-work things that I want to get done today. Just like browsing some online shopping and like even just like making a schedule for this week, because since I had a busy weekend headed into this week and then didn't have all too much time yesterday, I haven't fully scheduled out like the runs that I want to do and that kind of thing going into the week. So I definitely want to do that. I also definitely need to start walking before so that I am not late. But good morning, happy Tuesday. See you at work.
I know I shouldn't be in love, but it's so hard to move on. You haven't changed, you stayed the same. But if you did, I'd still love you anyway. I'd give you the world like I promised I would. Even though you wouldn't do the same, I'd give you the world like I promised I would.
I have to talk quick because I'm about to be on a Zoom call, but check out this setup. I've got my smoothie for dinner. I've got waffles for a side. I've got my laptop because I'm about to do a little Zoom call, like I said. I've got my ring light. I've got my cozy blanket that I actually rolled over in my chair. I'm having a Zoom with a student, which I'm very excited for, honestly, because I know that in social work classes, it's so common to have like interview a social worker type assignments. And I remember whenever I did mine, I was so stressed because I was like, I don't know any social workers. I was like, I have no social workers near me in life, which like, oh, how the tables have turned. And so sometimes I get reached out to like to ask if I can do the interview, and honestly I feel so bad because I wish I could do like every single one who's ever reached out to me, but unfortunately that's not realistic and I do miss a lot. But I was so excited that this one worked out and I get to do the little interview. Maybe have like a little paper written about me, something. And then my plan for the night is to work on the puzzle and listen to my audiobook, I think. I kind of wanted to sit down and read, have like a read night, but I feel like this puzzle has been sitting undone for too long at this point. Happy Wednesday. Sorry I always do these clips with my laundry hanging next to me, but a little OOTD today. This is just for the walk. I feel like I want to buy new scrub pants, like get some more, because I have 3, which out of 5 days a week, you definitely can make work, but I have the bright purple, the bright pink, and then a gray. So like when you have bright colors, I feel like, I don't know, wearing like hot pink pants twice a week becomes more obvious. So I'm kind of thinking about getting some new ones. These are the figs though. They're the high-waisted Zamora joggers, I believe, and I get the short version and fits my leg pretty well. And then this shirt, I want to get more of these too because I didn't even get them for work, but I always feel so cool whenever I wear my Lululemon Swiftly Tech long sleeve race length shirt. I don't know what the day holds. Today, I have a CEU, I think about domestic violence, that I'll attend. I think it's at 1, I'm pretty sure. I have my regular daily rounds, and that's the only scheduled things for today. So I'll kind of bebop around, see what families need, see what's going on for the day. I've not drank my smoothie yet, so I'm gonna be drinking it like on the way to work. I've been getting so hungry in the middle of the day, so I'm trying to up my breakfast intake to see if that helps. This morning was so super hard to get out of bed. I feel like Wednesdays, you just like hit a slump where you're no longer starting the week, you're no longer coming off the weekend, and you're not yet close to the end of the week. Not a radical concept. I did not come up with it. Happy hump day to all who celebrate.
Even though you wouldn't do the same, had this conversation more than 10 times.
I had the realization which like should not have been a realization, but I had the realization earlier today that I need to make more of an effort in this room, I feel like, because I spend most of my time in this room, and our living room is like so peaceful and cozy and lovely, and I love whenever I hang out in there, but like I spend so much time at my desk, and this room did not get the same love that our living room got, and I feel like it deserves it, even if just in a little bit. So I don't know how soon that'll become an active goal, but at some point that'll be a goal. It's like actually process through the things that whenever we were moving, I was going to process through, and then just like got to a point where I guess I decided I was done moving and stopped processing through them. Today I took a very chill evening, which I was very excited for. Per my Whoop, my little fitness tracker, my like score for how ready I was to take on the day today was pretty low, because apparently I didn't sleep well last night, and then like with runs I've been doing, I've been increasing in intensity from where I was at whenever I just like was not running. So my body's recovering from that too. And then also I have like the little feeling in the back of your throat, you know, when you start to get a little suspicious, or it could go either way. It's like either I'm about to get sick or my body's fighting something off and it'll successfully fight it off. At this point, I don't know, but I do just have that little feeling back there, and I'm feeling kind of tired. And so I'm like, probably need to take it chill, take it easy, get to bed, give my body the best chance that I can. Something that I kind of talked about yesterday in the little social work interview that I did with a student is how being at a hospital is like true generalist social work, in that you just like dip your toes into so many different things in a day. And I feel like that was my day today. I did things that are the more simple things, like helping families figure out the logistics of hospitals, like kind of the welcome, the active listening, being a supportive presence. Like I did those things today, but then I also touched in on like insurance type things and helping a family figure out like how they're covered and how to get baby covered and how to make use of different public assistances that they may qualify for, that kind of thing. Tomorrow when I go in, I'll start sending in Social Security disability income applications for a couple patients that I am applying on behalf of. So I did all of that today. I actually made like a quick visit into an outpatient lab that is like the same on my floor. Usually I don't do anything outpatient, but it was a Spanish speaking family who needed an interpreter. So it was a lot easier to have the interpreter there in person and have me there in person and discuss. But that was another like financial resources, insurance type help. I helped coordinate with a school because there was a mom who keeps getting notified that her child is missing school, and she's like, I know, I'm literally here at the hospital with them. And so help like draft a letter and send it to the right people and coordinate with different teams to make sure the child is supported while they're inpatient, different things like that going on. And then I did do an hour-long continuing education unit over lunch. I cannot stop yawning. That was about domestic violence. It was great panelists that were talking. I feel like the biggest takeaway, like they talked about so much that I just like can't dive into the whole hour of it, but the biggest takeaway is to believe people about domestic violence, especially if it's someone like in your inner circle and they're coming to you. Validating them and believing them and being ready for them and being there for them is super important and can be so game-changing. And something that is important too is if you have a friend who is in a abusive relationship that maybe they're not ready to leave yet for whatever type of reason, doing your best to not, I guess, like let them isolate themselves, like still sticking around, even though it can be frustrating sometimes as like the friend of a person looking from the outside seeing a situation, feeling like they continue to put themselves in that situation or something like that. But they're just talking about how important it is if someone is in a riskier relationship, that if you're part of their support system, remaining part of their support system, even if it takes a little bit extra effort in that time of life, because for someone to leave a relationship, they need a team of people to help them, to cheer them on, to be there for them, that kind of thing. So that was it's like a lunch and learn. It was a good lunch and learn. I feel like I've yawned, I think 10 times in this 6-minute clip. And so I'm gonna get ready for bed. It's not even that late, it's like 8:45, but I feel like if my body is telling me this, then I need to get to sleep. I am wearing, oh, you can't see. I'm wearing the same pants that I wore yesterday. But it's because my pink ones are already in the laundry and I wanted to wear my new sweatshirt today that I forgot to show you yesterday. And I didn't know if I wanted a gray on gray look, but this is my new sweatshirt. Yesterday, the Brett Boyer Foundation came and had like a coffee and meet and greet and chat and some free gifts. And so got myself a free gift. I got like one of the last ones there. I showed up like 5 minutes after the like 2-hour come and go event started and got one of the last sweatshirts. And so I think maybe I wouldn't necessarily have gotten a small if I had more options, but I was looking because they only had smalls and extra larges left. So I was like juggling in my head. I was like, okay, small, extra large, small, extra large. And then all of a sudden they were the only 2 left on the table. So I just had to make a snap decision and grab. So got my small little sweatshirt. And then on the back, it says battle on and it has a heart with the little NEKG on it. Is that what that is? I don't know. The Brett Boyer Foundation is a very cool foundation. They give money to like congenital heart disease research. They support families of children with congenital heart disease. They help fund funerals whenever a kid passes, which is sad but can be so helpful for a family in times of grief. They also raise awareness and money for Down syndrome as well, and those kind of go hand in hand, where lots of people with Down syndrome have some sort of heart defect as well. It varies like what the heart anatomy looks like, but it is cool. Yeah, so they support research, raise awareness, support families, and give healthcare staff free sweatshirts. I kind of wish I got the extra large, I'm not gonna lie. The little bug in the back of my throat hurt last night. It's still up in the air of if it's just gonna be the throat and then just go away, or if I'm gonna get a little cold. But what is good is that we still are very PPE at the hospital. Masks are not required when outside of patients' rooms, but I kind of just always wear one and always like, because it's easier than putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off. But they are required inside patient rooms. If patients have any kind of like respiratory illness, that kind of thing, lots of times we'll have like the gowns, the little yellow disposable gowns that you put on, gloves, all of that kind of thing. Always like hand sanitize or hand wash before going in and out of rooms. And what's like kind of nice for me too is that even though I go in and out of rooms, I'm not doing like direct care with patients. And so if they're sick, I'm not like as close to them. But that being said, I feel like it's only a matter of time before I catch something myself. But the good thing is that with how like, I don't know, how on top of it I am with PPE. Like I take my masking seriously. I'm less likely to be spreading anything. However, if I do end up actually getting sick, I will do the steps necessary, whether that's not be at work. But that's the thing for the future, because right now I'm still good. It's just kind of, you know, whenever it's like you swallow and you can feel almost like goo like scraping off the back of your throat. That's what I feel like it is. Today is my long day of rounds because we have the step down unit rounds and ICU rounds. Remember, ICU rounds are daily because it's that intensive care. Things can change overnight. But then the step down ones are just weekly, and it kind of talks about like who's preparing for discharge, are there barriers to discharge, what they're working on before we can discharge, that kind of thing. So they're always interesting because I get more details on patients. I feel like after a week goes by, I'm like, yeah, I'd like to know. Like I can read doctor's notes, but it's different just like actually hearing in words what someone is working on, and can help me help them prepare for discharge too. But I think that's it. I made a little TikTok yesterday of like a picture day in the life, you know, that kind of thing. So that was fun. But I think I'm gonna get going.
After 9, I still wish you were mine. Haven't ate in 7 days, 'cause I've been up till 6 a.m. Wrote 5 songs all just for you. 3 of them I can't bear listening to.
I was just editing this video and realized that I never did a like closing clip. Remember earlier whenever I was like, oh yeah, this little tickle in the back of my throat will either be the kind that my body fights off and I'm totally fine, or it'll be the kind where I get sick. On Friday when I got home from work, I just like completely crashed. And just a little hint for like the upcoming vlogs, today that I'm doing this right now is the very first day that I've ever called out sick from work. Got my little like Vicks Vapo Rub here. I'm doing better right now in present time than I was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but that is why Friday just kind of ended. I'm trying to think if there was anything even interesting that occurred. Oh, I know what was interesting. So I just love the times whenever there's like real tangible things that I can do for families that like play out fast. Sometimes with social work, you may like do a lot of work and you don't necessarily get to see the outcome of it or like see the benefit it has, if it has benefit, that type of thing. But there was a family that I ran into because they just got admitted for like overnight, basically like for observation. And it seemed like had kind of fallen through the cracks for one of like the clinics, and that there was like a type of machine that wasn't necessarily medically necessary. It was a CPAP machine. Wasn't necessarily medically necessary, but could be like very beneficial, that I guess the family had been like trying to get for their daughter for a long time, and just like it seemed like fell through the cracks. Like it just like wasn't happening, whether like the order just like I don't know what happened, but it had been over a year that they had been like wanting this and had been recommended this and hadn't gotten this. And so mom was like, what can you do to help me? And they were Spanish speaking too, which just is an extra barrier in accessing healthcare when you're here. So I was making all kinds of calls. I was like figuring out which doctor recommended it, like if they could put in another order, what we could do to make sure we get this machine. And then I just thought it was so funny because I like am looking in the notes of the people that I was calling, like because they started putting notes in the chart too, and it's like social worker Anna called and left voicemail requesting this, and I was like, yeah, social worker Anna did. Social worker Anna did do that. And it seems like they were able to like re-put the order in, like hopefully this time they can get that machine that'll just make life a bit more comfortable, a bit more easier. So that was fun. I'm gonna go. Like I said, all of this will be coming up in the next vlog. Hope you are having a great day, a better day than. But thank you so much for taking minutes out of your day to spend with me. I love you, and I will see you next time.